All right, are we up and running? Let's see if it's true. I think we are. Get stuff out of the way there. Should be up and running, right? Spelljammer Warforged machines or golems. All right, yeah, great. Yeah, we are up. Or golems. Let's drop that down. Make sure my volume is proper. My microphone here within range. And okay, so we're going to be doing some development of Spelljammer Warforged and machines. Give me a second here to belt out across social media that we are live so that we can continue growing attention towards our effort here. And I'll just be posting on my Discord channel here and across. So in the meantime, let me distract you with my background. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. And I have been focusing my attention on Spelljammer since it was released for 5th edition by Wizards of the Coast in August 2022. On the screen here, you can see the cover to the supplement that we have now published on DMsGuild. Let me fix my screen here real quick. There we go. Which is here, Spelljammer Combat Exploration. It's 107 pages of 5e combat in vehicles at the 50 and 500 foot scale. So, like, it's if you know how to play D&D, if you know how to fight goblins in a tunnel, you know how to use these machines. It uses the same action economy as your characters normally would in ship combat. So there's no, like, the idea of a ship roll isn't like you have the fishing skill, so you're the boatman or whatever. It's just the roll just depends on what you're using your action economy to do in the machine that you're operating. If you're the pilot, you can use your object interaction to steer the boat or the ship or the mecha or the truck. You can also use your action to dash as well. A rogue with cunning action could use their bonus action to dash as well. So rogues make really good pilots because they get a lot of movement out of their vehicles. Attacks and bonus actions can be used to make attacks. We have reactions, other various actions. Siege commanders command crew of siege crews to fire siege weapons, one or multiple weapons. Squadron commanders, they use their action economy to command one or more ships, which may include the ship that you're on. If your pilot is an NPC, your player could use the siege commander or could use the squadron commander mechanics to issue verbal commands to the pilot to act as the action economy that we would use. And then there's a support role that allows you to basically use your various pieces of action economy to give advantage, negate losses, re-rolls, damage reduction, stuff like that. So all the mechanics, it's pretty well steeped into this book. The scaling system works off of 5 foot, 50 foot, and 500 foot scales. So once you get past all the different ships, like here's the vessels. They're at 50 foot squares. It's like a flying fish is 130 feet long, so it occupies a 3x3 space at the 50 foot scale. A scorpion is 75 feet long, so it occupies a 2x2 space at the 50 foot scale. Then we get down to fighter craft. You have a goblin arrow, which is 15 by 15 feet. It occupies a 3x3 space. A cuttlefish is gargantuan in size. It occupies a 4x4 space at the 5 foot scale. It is a 20 foot fighter craft. You have the spiderling, which is a 40 foot 8x8 ship that sits inside of a 40 foot space, or it could fit inside of one 50 foot space when it's interacting, crawling around on larger size ships. So if we take all these animal shaped vehicles and instead we give them humanoid shapes, we get war titans and war golems. So I've just created Spelljammer Warforged and Machines. It's the next playtest document that I have. For now, I'll be posting it on Patreon this weekend, but for now, you can see the here's the playtest document that we're looking at. For you, it'll be read only. I have editing rights and probably continue to do so. So over the past couple weeks, we've built out the docent as a species that can be basically the soul gem that powers a Warforged or Autognome's body. Autognomes are small, Warforged are medium, but if we want to take out that stone and place it into another type of machine, for example, we could have a displacer frame that's a huge size creature. It's a 3x3 space. The soul gem would be just basically socketed into its chest or into its head, wherever it is. But I don't care. Wherever it is that you build it, that the gem gets plugged into, that would, once plugged in, that would power up this otherwise inert piece of machinery. When you put your gem into it, it becomes your body. And that's very similar to wild shaping, like wild shaping into this, but it's just your soul gem, your docent, would be assumed to have a native body, either an autognome or a warforged, but could be discarded. And like say in this instance here, we're looking at a 35-foot war golem. This is a 5x5 scale that a human pilot or any medium-sized species would be able to climb into and pilot this. What would I call that? It's an Umber Hulk looking sort of frame. But this is a gargantuan 4x4 at the 5-foot scale. This would be like just a humanoid war titan or a war golem. War golems are up to 50 feet. War titans are up to 500 feet. I don't have any examples of war titans right now, but this could easily be a 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. This could be a 350-foot war titan instead, and if it was, then it would be 10 times the size, which means that the person on board would be more like this in size. And you could have entire floors and buildings inside of here, and like a kitchen and a sleeping area, storage and stuff. It's just all based on the size of the vehicle. So here we have it just as a war golem at 35 feet. Once you get past once you get past the 40-foot scale, you're dealing with larger vessels. So we also fleshed out here the construction material types, and the speeds of things is all based off of the mechanics that are already inside of the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document that we already have published on DMsGuild. This is basically a kicker document to create humanoid-shaped ships, fighter craft, and vessels that can pick up and wield massive-sized weapons. So we're looking at weapon scales here. The size of the size of the weapon corresponds with the size of the vehicle or the titan that you are equipping. That's equipping the weapon. So if you have a 35-foot Umber Hulk, that's going to sit inside the 30 to 40-foot space. So that would be 40 feet. It would be like to create a long sword large enough for this war titan to wield. Like here's a battle axe, right? Let's say this battle axe is 15 feet, and you're in a 20-foot war titan, and a 20-foot war golem. So 20 feet, it'd be a 240 gold piece investment to create this axe if it would normally be 15 gold. If it would normally be 15 gold, at 20 feet, it's 16 times the modifier, so it's 240 gold. We're just scaling up by the number of squares. It's that easy. So there are steps in between that we could take, like we could do 35 by 35, which would be a weird... it would be 49. That would be the number. The number would be 49 times the cost. So 15 times 49. Should be able to do that in my head, but it'd be 735 gold for a 35-foot war golem to equip an axe like this, for example. So there's the scaling that we have here. Here's the damage scaling that we have. It's 1 die, 2 dice, 3 dice at huge, 4 dice at gargantuan. And then you double size to 50 feet, it's 5. You double size again to 100, it's 6. Double size again to 200, it's 7. Double size again, or increase scale by 100 feet from there on forward for an extra die at each size that you're adding. Just like down here, it was every 5 feet added a die, and then it skipped up to another die at 50, and then another die at 100, and then every extra square that we added on at the 100-foot scale would add on to up to 10d6. So in the like in the example here, a 200-foot, where'd it go? Here you can see a 200-foot spiderling. Like these claws act as piercing rams, or like massive spears. It's a 200-foot vessel. So using the scale 200 feet in size, it would be a d6 times 10 damage that it would deal every time it stabs you with one of those legs. And a spear is a d8 weapon. So it'd be d6 times 10 in this format here. But if we were to go to, say, a 200-foot Warforged or a War Titan, it'd be 7 spears. What, d8? Yeah, so it'd be 7d8 times 10. It'd be just 7d8 damage, which would be anywhere from 7 to 56 damage, which is pretty comparable to the d6 times 10, scaling from 10 to 60 damage. But if it was like a two-handed sword, like using a d12, then it'd be 7d12 damage that it would be doing as a two-handed weapon. So the damage is pretty similar to what we already have listed out here. It's just a little more granular because of holding weapons. There's more die roll. There's more die variables. Movement scales, depending on if you are a slow trudging construct, it has the typical 30 feet of movement. Default for larger constructs is a land navigation, where it's like basically like a truck with wheels or treads. It'd have a 250-foot movement speed, so it'd be basically 5 50-foot squares that it can move as an object interaction. And then you can take the dash action, so you can move up to a total of 500 feet in a single round, which is basically 50 miles per hour. Air navigation as an airship, like an Eberron airship, or a low-altitude fighter craft, or jump jets on a War Titan or War Golem. It works at 500-foot scales. So again, whenever you take the object interaction, it's 5 squares of movement. It just depends on the scale of squares. So with these jump jets or low-altitude engines, it would be 2,500 feet as an object interaction. And then if you took the dash action, it'd be another 2,500 feet, which is 5,000 feet per 6 seconds, which roughly translates into short of supersonic. Basically, it's the speed of an airline would fly across the ocean, 500 miles per hour. A little less. And then you got minor spell jamming helms for the spell jamming setting itself. A minor helm can do 1,000,000 miles per day, which is a maximum speed of 100 miles per square in a round of combat, up to 500 miles in one move. But the scale of combat, as we've discussed in previous stream, is up to 1 mile away. If it's more than a mile away, it takes more than a round to arrive. If you see it, you can just get out of the way as part of your move action and automatically misses. Major helms is what's highlighted in the August 2022 release, 100 million miles per day, which translates into 10,000 miles per round, which can be broken down into 1,000 mile squares. But again, you have to slow your ship down to be able to operate inside of a 1 mile space. Whether both ships are moving 10,000 miles per hour and they just happen to be within 1 mile of each other so that they can have a pursuit chase combat, or if they're at larger scales, if they're going to conduct battle, they have to be within 1 mile of each other. So that's a fun limitation. If we were to build a sci-fi version of this, we could have lasers and rockets and stuff that are able to travel huge distances in one round and be able to upscale the range of combat. But that would also remove your ability to actually visually see eyes on your target. So you wouldn't be able to do any kind of spell casting unless you had like a spell cannon of some sort that would be able to target individual creatures at vast distances, which is beyond the scope of this project. But we could visit as a Kickstarter in the future if people like, subscribe, bell icon, stick around, help me build my numbers to the point where I could sell a couple hundred copies on a Kickstarter. I would love that, and if you think this stuff is cool, jump on board and help me build. So we've built out the magic items, enhanced movement speeds for the different vehicles. Heavy plating increases the armor class and the damage reduction that a vehicle can take, whether it's a craft at up to 50 feet or a vessel up to 500 feet. Thick construction doubles the amount of hit points that the vehicle has. Normally it has 10 hit points for every 5 feet of space. So like a 50-foot, like that 350-foot frame, it'd have 70 hit points, which doesn't sound like a lot. But that's a temporary hit point shield of armor that's basically placed around the pilot. It's the pilot's hit points that are actually important. So when we're playtesting stuff, we have to think about how much damage can the team take, how much can the vessel take. So given that piece of information, I'm currently sitting here inside of Big B Presents Glory of the Giants. And there are a number of giant enclaves with battle scenarios down here. For example, the Starforge. These squares are. Let's not do that. Let's open this. Open image in a new tab. There you go. So these are 10-foot squares that we're looking at, and so that's a 5-foot space there. That's a 5-foot space. And during the course of this adventure, you're fighting fire giants. So let's go find ourselves a fire giant. There's an iron golem to fight, which is a size large construct fitting a 10 by 10 space. A fire giant is huge, filling a 15 by 15 foot space. There's a aboleth, that's only size large here. Azer, which are size medium. Let's see. Lightning tethers. Observation chamber. What else you got going on in here? Goliath giantkin. Storm giant is a huge size creature, 15 feet. It's weird that they're using 15-foot creatures inside of 10-foot squares. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They're effectively occupying they're not quite occupying a 2x2 space, which is okay. World root sapling features. These are also 10 by 10 squares. So the scaling's a little weird, but let's look at this. Yeah, I own this thing. Just give it to me. Thank you. Goliath giantkin, medium size. Huh. Okay. So let's see. Let's take a fire giant. What's up there, buddy? Yeah, thick boy. All right, let's get thick ourselves. We're going to grab this here. Let's drop down to the bottom of the document. So I got some thick boy stuff down here. Armor class is 18. Hit points 106. Let's just round it down. 162. Damage. Multi-attack has 2 attacks. 2 attacks, great sword, plus 11. Damage is 28. I have less time than I would usually want today. It just is what it is. Move speed. It says a speed of 30, but that's fucking dumb. So here's the problem with movement speed in large-sized creatures. Your characters are almost automatically going to be medium or small size, which means they're going to have a speed of 30, maybe 25, maybe 40 or 50 feet per round. And this guy is 3 times your size, but it doesn't have any faster movement speed. So I reject that reality and replace it with my own, where the size of your space should equal the number of squares that you move during your movement. Thank you, timer. So a 15-foot fire giant should have a 15-foot stride, which means that normal 6, it would have a 90-foot movement speed. So that just makes sense to me. But D&D doesn't work. Wizards doesn't provide much information about scaling combat like we do. In this document that we created, the whole thing is completely built around scaling movement. Here's a 5-foot scale. Here's the 50-foot scale. Here's the 500-foot scale. And if we drop down here to a battle map, this is a full mile worth of space occupying 500-foot squares. Each one of these ships is representing a 500-foot square that it occupies. But if we zoom in to these two 50-foot squares, we can see that we could actually have multiple ships sitting inside this 50-foot space that are all engaging in this close dogfight. And even more so, we have these small warbird landing craft that can then fly down and land on the deck of a hammerhead ship and start dumping crew out of its cargo belly, or out of its just off the top of the deck here. Just people are spilling on the deck to attack whoever may be on board. So we have those 3 scales that operate together at any time: 5, 50, and 500-foot scale. But we could just as easily have 15-foot spaces inside of, like, say, this dungeon here that's built around fire giants, cloud giants, hill giants. These are all huge-sized creatures. So instead of using a 10-foot square, you could have used a 15-foot square. And that would allow the giant to still move 6 squares, but your character on foot would only be able to move 2. So when we rebuild this, when we redo this map, we will recalibrate it to 15-foot scale. So let's look at a 15-foot. Let's look at a War Titan. It'll be a War Golem. I'm working on language still. We're looking at 15 feet, not 20, because all the giants that we're fighting are at that scale. We're gonna go with thick build, which is gonna double the hit points that it has, and we're gonna go with armor plating, which is going to increase our armor class. Skills 15. AC is going to be 20 because it's armor framed. It's going to have a damage reduction of, 30, I think? Let's go back up here and take a look. Thick construction. Heavy armor plating. Plus 10 DR. We're craft, so it's plus 5. So it's going to be a damage reduction of 15. So let's go back down here. AC will be 20. DR will be 15. It's going to have a strength and constitution of plus 5 bonus. And it's going to have a dex bonus of 0. We can't benefit from a dexterity bonus when you're in a heavy armor frame like this. And to gain advantage of thick construction, thick build, I think is the way that we want to word that, and armor plating. These are 2 default attributes that you can add to it as magic items on top of the costs. So we're going to, let's look at the cost real quick. Construction is going to be heavy material. It's a craft because we're dealing with 15 feet. So it's going to be just a base 600 gold to build this construct. And then we're going to we're just going to start stacking on top of it. So it's going to have enhanced movement. So let's see. It's going to be times 9 cost of equipment. Movement scale is going to be enhanced land navigation for an extra 250. So it'll be 850. And then we're adding heavy plating, 850. That goes to 900. And then we're going to add on thick construction, doubles the hit point. It's 20 gold pieces per hit point. So what is it? 20 times 30, that's 600. So we're at 1500 right now. And it has the basic docent frame, so it's we already have the movement taken into account. So this is a 1500 foot, this is a 1500 gold piece mecha that we're basically building here. And let's see. We're still sussing out the power system, but we know we could go with integrated tools. These are little add-ons that you could purchase, so we could have the integrated orrery is nice, but it's not necessary for this combat. Weapon damage type is 100 gold pieces per 5 feet. Unnatural damage types. Let's go with force damage for our weapons. So it'll be 200 gold pieces per 5 feet. So our mecha can empower weapons that it's wielding to deal force damage. That'll be 600 gold pieces added. I'm gonna skip the integrated. Actually, let's pick up some integrated tools for 300 gold. $300 gold, 300 gold. Force damage equals 300 GP enhancement. Integrated tools equals 300 GP enhancement. I've got 20 minutes left. No. Let's do it like that. Go back up to armor plating. We're going to be, I'm going to look at 5th level characters, I think. Heavy armor plating, thick, it's a thick build. 50 per 5 is 150. Fast land speed again. What is that? $100 gold and then 300 gold for the enhancement. Is that what that was? Let's keep taking a look here. $300 gold for its size. see what else. Integrated tools. We're just building stuff here. Integrated tools. No, I don't like the excavation tools. There's that. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go with sources, tools, game rules, equipment. It's going to deal force damage. Let's go with long sword. D8 slashing. Cost is 90, 135. Let's get a shield. Shield get AC +2. So we'll take our armor class to 22. AC is +2. Ten times 9 is going to be 90 gold. And then enhancements. We get, we can purchase enhancements. Let's go with integrated powers. If we go with 5th level characters, we can have up to 2nd rank. It'll be 10,000 gold pieces to implement these things. 3 powers, 2nd rank up to 2nd rank. Equals. Whew, that's expensive. 1, 2, 3. Pilot powers. These are things that the pilot themselves knows and brings to the table. A pilot, if we're using the martial power system that we've already developed, a 5th level character is going to have 6 known powers total, which could be a mix of feats, attacks, strikes, exploits, etc. But we have a limited palette that we can use. So let's see exactly what does it say about power systems, and what does a character, what does a pilot gain as potential known powers. Proficiency bonus level rank 2, which is 5th level is going to be 3, 2nd rank. Characters gaining power. You can attune a number of powers to your vehicle as part of taking command of a war titan equal to your proficiency bonus. When you gain a level or spend a day of downtime activity, you can swap which powers you can attune to your titan. And an artificer can use infusions to attune more than their proficiency bonus, and as a feat, empowered piloting, you can attune 1 additional power while piloting a vehicle. The max rank of power that can be attuned is equal to pilot PV minus 1. So I'll have 3 as a pilot up to 2nd rank. So I'll have a total of, in the end, I have 6 total integrated powers. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty fucking sweet. I'm just going with a tank build. So let's see what kind of tanky shit I can do. We're gonna start with I have 3 integrated. It costs me 10k to have 3 that are just integrated, and then I've got 3 that I can swap in and out. So what do I want to integrate into the machine? I can go with weapon resistance, which is while sustaining this power, you gain resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Let's just call it resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, and call that a day. What kind of damage do you do? There you go, slashing damage. So we're going to go with weapon resistance. That is going to be and then there's unnatural resistance, which is while sustaining its power, you choose 1 for psychic damage. You know, I feel like elemental resistance should be 2. Weapon resistance should be 1. Yeah, that'll work. And 3rd rank is beyond my ability here at 5th level right now, so no access. But unnatural resistance, elemental resistance isn't a bad idea. I can retool it. Elemental resistance. Choose per. You can channel this power more than once simultaneously, choosing a different damage type with each channeling. We'll go with fire for now because we're in a lava area. That leaves 1 integrated power open for me to pick from. Grappling combat. I don't think I want to get close up like that. Power shield. We already have a shield. I don't think I need Blind Sense. Rogue Stance isn't bad. You can use a bonus action to dash, disengage, or dodge. That's pretty good. But I want to be tanky. Crippling Strike. When you hit a target with an attack, as a bonus action, you cripple the target's movement. You must use the dash action to move before beginning your next turn. The target must use the dash action to move before he gets. I like that. Crippling Strike. That's a good one. Those are 3 solid ones. Now let's jump here into the pilot powers. Anticipate as a reaction to when a target within reach of your weapon attack that you can see makes an attack. Before they roll to hit, you make an opportunity attack. Man, that's a pretty good one. Moving target as a reaction to when a target you can see moves into or within the reach of your weapon, you can make an attack, even if the target is using the disengage action or movement is forced. The weapon is considered an opportunity attack. Moving target is real. Oh, God, all 3 of these are really good as a reaction to when a target within reach of your melee weapon that you can see hits another creature with an attack. You can redirect the attack to target another creature you can see within reach of that attack using the same. Okay, let's go with redirect. Go here to crippling strike, strike power. So the DM can set what kind of machines you can gain access to and what kind of integrated powers and enhancements are available. And you can go to, we'll have to have a table on enhancements. Playtest. Let's see. Build. Let's see. Machine shops. Oh, crap. Thank you. All right, machine shops. Where to go to buy war machines. And power gear. Where to go to buy more machines and power gear. This could be a very, very fun supplement to use in Descent into Avernus. Incredibly fun. Let's see. Let's scroll down here. We're still looking for 2 pilot powers. Moving target is not bad. Downtrodden. God. As a reaction to when a target you can see within range of your weapon attack becomes prone, you can make an opportunity attack against it. Interpose. As a reaction to an ally within reach of your melee attack takes damage from a source you can see, you can take any portion of the damage and gain resistance to it. This power is considered an opportunity attack. That's not bad. Deflection as a reaction to when a target that you can see that is within reach of your melee attacks hits with an attack roll. The attack is re-rolled, taking the new result, as opposed to taking damage. Controlled fall. As a reaction to colliding, you can safely land instead, taking no damage. I mean, that's just good. Fucking Flicker Pounce. God, there's so much good stuff here. Bonus attack isn't bad. Coordinated dash. You can empower an ally that you can see. Coordinated attack. Goad. Oh, Goad is too good. Gotta take Goad. Target. That is going to be a maneuver. And evade damage. When you succeed a dexterity saving throw to reduce damage, you take none or half if you fail. Evade damage is amazing. We need that because we don't have any dexterity. Evade damage. That is an exploit. There, so that's a mecha. We got 3 from the integrated powers, and we got 3 that your pilot can learn. I'm pretty good with that. So this is a decent little tanker. If this was a barbarian at 5th level is probably going to have, what, 16 at 1st level, and then 10 per level after that, so 40. So it's going to have 56 hit points, plus you've got, it's not 80, it's 60. You've got 60 hit points here. And we have the weapon resistance, so when you get hit, it's going to have to damage. Then we apply DR. So if the average damage that a giant is going to deal is going to be 28 damage, when it hits, you're going to shave off the first 15. So it's going to be about 14 damage. You can either deal that damage to your character, or you can deal it to the Titan, or any combination in between. So if it deals 14 damage, you can take 6 here and 6 to your character. Your character can heal as normal. So the more damage your character is able to take, the quicker you can heal that damage. If your Warforged, if your War Machine drops to 0 hit points, it is going to become destroyed, and it can't be used again until it's repaired for at least half of its hit points, which takes time. Either a short rest or do a little bit of light repair, or a long rest to do heavy repair, or you can use a mending spell as part of a long rest, or an 8-hour. It's 1 hour, I think, for every use of mending. There's my time. I gotta bounce out of here. So this is fun. I am looking forward to doing more of this with y'all in the future. So if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications. I'm going to have this Spelljammer Warforged and Machines document up on my Patreon this weekend, so you can check that out. Go ahead and grab the book if you think it's cool. Full playtest document we were just looking at. Here's the Google Doc. Here's the full playlist of all the subsequent sections that we've done. Like, subscribe, bell icon to get notifications. And I am looking forward to building more of this stuff with you. We've got Golems, Titans, Fightercraft, and trucks that we can all build out. So that's a lot. That's a lot of examples of machinery that we can build. I feel I'm up to the task, but we'll see how everything fleshes out. So I will see you guys on Monday. I'll be back doing Eberron stuff on Monday, and then Monday nights we'll be doing more 500-foot battle crab, and I gotta go. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.